Hi, you can call me Bo. I am here because I am going to share my story with you. It's something I felt like I've been needing to do for a while. If not that, so someone out there can hear it and maybe catch something in it to help them through, or that glimmer of hope that maybe they need. But then for me, to help me really go through it again and see what I have come through, what I've accomplished, and everything that I've overcome. Because for the most part, I don't remember a lot of stuff that's happened in my life. I kind of moved past it and I'm a completely different person, and it's hard to remember what those times were. So that's why I'm here now, surrounded with journals and more, to tell you my true story, to tell myself and go through it again. So I guess let's get started. All right. Definitely gonna need a lot of editing, but I can't keep starting over. I'm gonna try and stop saying and, doing that a lot. I'm gonna start off by saying that I thought I had a normal childhood. I didn't realize anything was wrong. I thought that's how all families were. All families fought. All families had conflict. Mom and dad yelled at each other when they had a hard day. That's normal. That's everyone goes through that. Punishment is there, it's necessary. That's how it's supposed to work. So it wasn't really until high school and moving and really finding who I was and meeting other people and knowing what was right that I started seeing that things weren't right. If that's making any sense. Why am I nervous? um, I guess because I'm about to say, hey, come look at my life and all my secrets and stuff I kind of sort of thought someone would see eventually, but never really thought anyone would actually see. And now I'm going, here, look, here it is. Look at who I was as I'm relearning it. And it's kind of a scary thought, but I know I have to do it. I know it's something that is going to help me and maybe help someone out there. Maybe that's the reason why I've been pushed to do this, is that there's someone out there just needing to hear even just a piece of my story, and then seeing how I've come out of it and being able to do that themselves, or grasp onto some part of it, or I don't know, maybe you're doing something that happened and I'm rambling and I ramble a lot and I'm gonna try and stop, and that's why I'm trying to stick to script, but I'm trying to get myself up with the nerve to actually start. So, and this is a good place to start. This is kind of sad. I found a lot of the stuff that I was writing down I was turning in as assignments, and I'll read this to you now. Okay. If you would have found me a year ago, hell, even a month ago, and told me that I would have been here, standing on the precipice of sanity, staring down at a dark abyss, I would have laughed. How could I have known that I had already set into motion a series of events that would tear open old scars and show to the world the bleeding nerve endings identified as my past? I don't honestly know how I got here. The lines of fantasy and reality have blurred one too many times for me to be certain of what the truth is. However, I can tell you what I recall to be true, and that is the best I can do. The journey actually started in the black times, or the memories that hide themselves from my view. The black times wouldn't surface till later, but at least now you won't be blindsided by them like I was. Now, how I remember this journey starting is simple. I didn't. I was already way past the beginning by the time I realized I was moving at all. Many nights plagued by nightmares had gone by, and before I realized it, a year of nightly terrors had gone by. Little by little, sleep stopped coming to me. It wasn't that I didn't want to sleep, it was that I couldn't. Then something really odd happened. My nightmares started happening while I was awake. So I turned this into a teacher, and the only thing I got for it was that I was missing a comma and a semicolon in it. So they put little red marks on it that I needed to fix my punctuation, but otherwise this came across as a completely normal assignment, I guess. And this is where I started realizing things were wrong. But going through my stuff, I had been writing really crazy stuff and turning it into a teacher for a year before I noticed myself, and they never did anything. I mean, this is littered with them correcting it and, spelling and grammar and stuff like that. But the fact that this book is almost completely filled with detailed depictions of murder and rape and just complete mess went unnoticed. I picked out two to share with you guys just to see if you were in a teacher setting and a student handed this in to you and you were reading it, would you think, oh, that's completely normal? So the point of this is that we were supposed to keep a journal in our writing class, and then they'd go through and grade it and stuff like that. So here's the two that really stood out to me that I turned into a teacher, and they decided to fix my grammar and that nothing else needed to be done. Alright, 10/11 of 2004. I can no longer smile on my own. I have to have someone I care for help me. The tears come now and it is hard to control it. I feel sad and in pain all the time. My smile is a mask to hide the truth from the world. I took the problem to one of the sources and I was checked off as being too emotional. I sat there crying my eyes out trying to explain and he said I was over-exaggerating. But today after all that I am hit, not hard, but the words hurt more. The words I was told that I was a piece of crap. Well, maybe I am. Why should he care? He is just the one who raised me since I was 1. I am worthless. I am nothing. Nothing at all. Not meant to live or dream, just to be and to transform into what he wants. What does he want from me? What am I supposed to be? Who am I supposed to be? I am lost and trapped, caged. Why can't I be free? So I don't know if you caught it, but I told my teacher that my dad hit me and was calling me a piece of crap, and they decided that was normal. So then a month went by, and on 11/16 of 04 I wrote, I have a problem. I don't like to admit it. I hear things. They aren't bad things. No, they aren't bad things. I fight with myself inside my head. I think that's where the sounds come from. His name is Fred. I gave him a name. There used to be everything tiny, meanie, sporty, and meanie's gang. They were a bunch more that popped in and out. They were my friends. When there was no one else, they aren't there as much, but they are still there. Now there is also Fred. I can't tell if he is the one getting me into trouble or trying to keep me out of it. Well, that's it for the inside look at my mind. So I guess that's not too bad. It's just my earliest recount of when I started hallucinating things in all of this. So this was before I even noticed anything was wrong. It had gone on for a year before I wrote that I realized stuff was happening. And then even then I wasn't fully aware of it, if that makes sense. So it wasn't actually until the end of March of 2005 that I started keeping a journal for myself, that I wasn't turning in as an assignment, but just writing down everything that was happening, trying to get it all straight and get it out, because I just really needed to get it out. So I'm going to try and scan through just the highlights, the important stuff, because I drone on about a lot of different rambling, weird stuff. And I'm sure I'm going to have to edit a bunch out, because I'll probably say something on the side later. I didn't need to actually say that. Like, right there. I'll probably edit that out. Okay. So, in March 30th of 2005 was when I started writing this. So let's just go. Hello everyone out there reading this grotesque entryway of my tarnished soul. I hope you're not scared of the dark, because my insurance most likely won't cover you. Have you ever wondered why it's called After Dark? It's really after light. I guess it really doesn't matter. This book will be filled with my deepest, darkest thoughts when it is done. Turn back now. Don't continue to read. I am warning you, this is a painful story of real life, in your face, no way to escape the truth. Stop now before you get sucked in, into the pain, sadness, false hopes, anger, darkness. But if you insist on reading, don't say I didn't warn you. What is religion truly? What is it? Some person tells you to believe a certain way, to do things a certain way, their way. They say religious people go to heaven. But what is heaven? Do we have proof it exists? You can throw any biblical question at me and I can give you a reasonable scientific explanation. This Jesus dude comes around saying he's the Almighty. He had 6 documented followers. More believed in him 100 years after he died. Now there's a whole religion based on these unproved miracles? If I'm wrong in any of these facts, please forgive me. I am religionless, not anti, but indifferent. I believe there is life after death and a chain between all humanity. I follow my heart and try to be a good person in our society. Now there are many different interpretations of good. My good is doing what my heart and mind tells me is best. But sometimes you have to break the rules. There's a drive in all people to be bad sometimes. As you will notice in this book, my thoughts constantly bounce around. I change subjects completely and then again, and maybe come back to a previous thought. Everyone has a right to their own opinion, but if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. I don't believe that, but that's my dad's philosophy. Sometimes I wonder what it'd have been like if my mother had just stayed with my father. I was only one when they decided to sever the family. Then again, my father was a dumbass alcoholic. Throughout growing up, my older brother tormented and abused me all the time. I remember being chased around the house with a BB gun, being tied to a chair, and being a human punching bag. But now he's being rushed to meetings and is on drugs. I wonder if he's my brother or the pills. I can't remember the last time he smiled. In fact, our whole family is breaking apart. My stepdad has gone over the deep end and is sinking like a rock. He decided 3 years ago he wanted to go to his roots and live out his blood. It started out fine, but it's grown and grown. I don't think things will ever be the same. I can't even talk to him without him freaking out and yelling. No one can meet up to his expectations. Him and my mom are constantly fighting. My mom is trying to take on the whole family, but she is always stressed out. It's just too much. She works nights and has to deal with him and my brother during the day, and also try to still be a mom to me and my little sis. My sister is 7 and is mixed up in all this crap. She follows my stepdad and brother in hating me and everything I do. I feel sorry for her and hope that he changes before she is old enough to have a mind of her own. Then here I am, thrown in the middle of this to play babysitter, a person to talk to, and well, me. Sometimes I wonder if life would be better with my father. Running away crosses my mind a lot, but it's just too hard. I know I'd regret it if I didn't plan well, or if something ended up going wrong. I'm at that age where I'm not allowed to date, but I have a pull for boys. I just got over a relationship that got screwed up. It wasn't secret. My parents ended up finding out, and I only got hurt. Now I'm facing a boy that likes me who I just don't want to hurt, a boy I like that just won't stay away from my thoughts, and a past boy who haunts my dreams, so lost yet sitting right in my home, waiting for my stepdad to pick up my little sis. I can't stay up real late again. I have school tomorrow. He said he'd pick her up at 10. It's 11:30 and growing later. I'm so easily distracted by little things. I started straying to meaningless information, from one thing to another, wasting time. No one really knows me, no one. No one truly loves me, no one. I know how it feels to be truly alone. My only true friend, who might know a little about me, miles away. No, make that states away. Can you just become an insomniac? Not really needing sleep, but knowing it's the best? When you just pick up a pen and start writing, such deep emotional pieces of art are created, letting words flow like rivers heading to the sea. Darkness is usually explained as bad, but it can be very inspiring. Just being in that feeling of blackness and peace, a candle flickering in the distance, the wind blowing softly across your face, warmth from this cold nature. 3/31/2005. Do you live in someone else's shadow, just with a group of friends but not your own person? I go through that a lot, as I'm sure many other people go through too. Having friends who don't know me, laugh when it wasn't really a joke, don't really talk to you, having no clue what you really think. They try and sometimes they don't. You feel alone in the world. Is anyone out there? Anyone at all? Sometimes I want to scream at the world for making me alone. Why? I'll be okay in the end. I need something to hold on to that won't disappear. The ground might as well vanish from under my feet at the rate everything is going. Oh, sober heart, leave me alone. No longer able to get drunk on the wonders of love. Hate reigns over the domain of my heart, but a small light flickers, a light of hope, a love that could grow, but chances are slim. You ever feel like that? Like it's all coming to an end? Like nothing good could ever happen? Alright, enough darkness and death. Yeah, right. What is love? Is it that feeling that you just can't be away from them, or that your stomach clenches each time your eyes meet? I thought I knew love, but now I even question myself. But sometimes it's good to question yourself, to make sure you're in the right, to see if you're on the right side. How come family can be such a problem, causing trouble every waking moment? April 1st, 2005. Have you ever just thought to yourself, is it worth it? If you're thinking about what you have to go through to get that special someone, or how much you have to save to buy that new MP3 player, is it worth it? Or you can even think of life through that perspective. Is all the crap you get really worth living? Sometimes it feels that way, that it would be better be gone. Times are dark, but light has a chance of coming. If you lose someone you really cared about, are you supposed to just let them go? Let them fade into the darkened corners of your mind? Their shadow casting demonic pictures on the wall? Whispering words once said, toying with your frail emotions, no longer to comfort you when you cry, but remind you of when they could. That feeling you long, a past